Okay, so I was going to read a devotion off of the internet, off of Google, but then I remember that Brother Frank preached in church today, and that we were all sad that he wasn't that we weren't going to see it. So I remember that he sends me these things on the blog, so I found one that I liked, and I was going to read it. It's called "When Life is Most Comfortable." ... One could conclude that life is most comfortable when we have everything we want. Those times when we are surrounded by friends and those who are like-minded. When we have all that we need and then some. For the Christians, that comfort could translate into a comfy pew and good Sunday school teacher, a church that is filled with nice people, with a pastor who preaches good and hard, but not too hard. Francis Chan has this to say about a comfortable life. Life is comfortable when you separate yourself from people who are different from you. That epitomizes what my life was like, characterized by comfort. But God doesn't call us to be comfortable. He calls us to trust Him so completely that we are unafraid to put ourselves in situations that we will be in trouble if He doesn't come through. The best examples of what Francis is describing can be seen in the lives of the Christians in the New Testament, or in the life and death of our brothers and sisters overseas. So many Western Christians have settled for comfort over the presence of God that may seem a little harsh. However, Jesus showed Himself to those that many of us would never look or simply pass by. He went to the poor, the hungry, the tax collectors, the prostitutes, those who were broken and in need. He could care less about what folks had to say about Him, even His own family. We see this when He approaches Zacchaeus, calling him out of the trees to eat with Him in His house. Jesus was a man and was not afraid to go against the grain, even to eat with sinners. Why? He knew His Father would get Him through it. Jesus was seeking out the lost. When is the last time you met God on the field of battle? When was the last time you allowed yourself to be put in a position that only God could bring you through? God is not looking for comfortable Christians. He is looking for warriors who will stand up for those who need standing up for. So, do you have any questions?
What does it mean to stand up to other people?
Stand up for other people? So, like, say if you're driving down the street and you see a homeless person on the side of the road, and he has a sign up, and he's probably been standing out there for hours and hours trying to get some money because he can't get a job or anything, and he's only made like 12 cents the whole day. So you pull over or go get him some food or something and something to drink and give it to him and ask him if he needs anything else and do things like that. And comfortable Christians are like people who sit sit with all their friends and don't go over to that strange kid next to the table and sitting at the next table who doesn't believe in God and doesn't have any friends or anything like that. They go over there and talk to him and show God to him and be his friend.
What do you think about that devotion?
Well, I think it's true for a lot of people, and especially me sometimes, or most of the time. I just like to be where I like to be, and I don't want to really go out and do what I know I should, but that's what a lot of people do, and I think if people would just see what God really calls us to do, then we could all toughen up and try to do it ourselves. Not really do it ourselves, but go out and help other people.
God sends us, God sent Jesus to earth as flesh and to walk the earth as one of us. And I think that, we are all made to make mistakes. and we are all made to worry and made to live that simple life that you're talking about, being comfortable. But there's also a bigger line in that, and that's if you, for instance, if you are gonna be a minister, you can't be in that comfort place. You have to step out and be uncomfortable where you're not comfortable.
And just like if someone new comes to church and, it's that kid that no one really knows, he's that new kid that just doesn't have any friends or doesn't have a place because, they don't know anybody. That was kind of like me whenever we went to Live Oak. I didn't really know anyone my age. Well, there's not anyone in my age there, but there wasn't anyone that I could look up to anymore, or anyone in the youth that I could really rely on. But they took me in and they became my friends and stuff, and now I know a lot more people. I think they would be better people in the situation I was put in.
Yeah, and with you saying that, I think that was more of a God sending you a lesson that needed to be learned for you if you wanted to be in the ministry. Does that make sense? Because if you wouldn't have went through that, you wouldn't have grown.
And I wouldn't have had a story to tell.
No, you're right. And you wouldn't have had a story to tell or a testimony to tell.
Everybody.
But you know what? Everybody in this room has a testimony to tell.
Even if it's not good or if it's not bad or you don't think it's good, everyone has one.
Correct.
Even
Because
if it's just boring, it doesn't matter.
it's still a testimony.
It's still a story that God gave you.
Correct. Addie has a testimony. She's only 6. She's only 6 and she has a testimony. Anyone that God actually put on earth has a testimony. But those who really believe in Him have bigger testimonies, if that makes sense. Because testimonies aren't just something that happened to people. Testimonies are something to show people
and how God made them who they are.
Correct. It's that, and plus, it's not just about what God has made them go through, and the things that they have made them go through are the trials and triumphs of what they went through. It's about being born. It's about celebrating Jesus' life every year. It's about things that go on in, for instance, Miss Christie. Miss Christie has a wonderful testimony because of the people that she helps on a day-to-day basis. And that's her testimony. I don't think she realizes that, but that is her testimony. Those things that is a day-to-day basis that she has, that she can actually share with others. She doesn't have to share names because she can't, because on a patient whatever, Mama can't share that either. But she can share what she has done in people's lives because I've seen it with my own eyes, and it's so amazing to see what she can do.
Whenever we talk about testimonies at church, Uncle Johnny always says how he was at a D now or a camp or something like that.
They were at a D now.
And
Miss
Sissy
Ann, yep.
gave him a piece of paper and said, write your testimony. And he didn't think he had a testimony, so he left it blank. And then he realized that everyone has a testimony, and that if you don't think you have a testimony, but you really do.
Yep. I'm stopping the recording.